welcome all of you in online teaching learning process. We have started paper number 7 inorganic chemistry, in which we have seen unit number 4 chemistry of elements of 3D series, and in this lecture we will see about the colored ions of 3D series elements. So first we will see theory behind formation of colored ions. When an electron from a lower energy orbital is excited to higher energy orbital, d orbital, that is one d to another d, the energy of excitation corresponds to the frequency of light absorbed, that is absorption of light takes place, and the frequency generally lies in the visible region. The color observed corresponds to the complementary color of the light absorbed. So the frequency of the light absorbed is determined by the nature of the ligand. Which type of ligand bonded will show the color to the complex. So in case of transition metals, that is d block elements, colored complexes study color formation due to splitting of 3d orbitals of metal ion by ligands. So generally in absence of ligand, 3d orbital, all 3d orbitals having same energy, that is 5 3d orbitals are equal in energy, but in presence of ligands 3d orbitals splitting takes place because 5 3d orbitals does not have equal energy. So splitting of 3d orbital in T2G and EG, and crystal field splitting is represented by delta value, delta octahedral splitting. So why titanium third ion solution is violet in color, that is hexa aqua titanium 3+ shows violet colored complex. In the absence of ligand, all 3d orbitals of titanium are empty, but in case of titanium 3+, there is a one electron. When ligands approach towards the titanium, all aqua ligands approaching towards the titanium, then there is a splitting of d orbital takes place, and due to this 3d orbital split into different energy level and electronic transition possible. When light absorbed, then electron is shifted from this T2G to EG, and due to this the titanium H2O6 3+ complex shows violet color or purple color. So overall study shows that scandium 3+, there is no electron in d orbital, is colorless. Titanium 3+, 1 electron shows purple color. Vanadium 3+, 2 electron shows green color. Chromium 3+, 3 electron shows violet color. Mn2+, 5 electrons shows pink color. Fe2+, outermost 6 electrons shows green color. Then cobalt 2+ shows pink color. Nickel 2+ shows green color. Copper 2+ shows blue color. But zinc 2+, all d orbitals are completely filled, so it is a colorless. And 3d0 also shows colorless. So these are the some color of some transition metal ions which are given in the table along with their color set. Then color of the complex mainly depends on the number of 3d electrons, and here number of d electrons are inversely proportional to crystal field splitting and directly proportional to wavelength of light absorbed. Also depends on field strength of ligand, also defects in solid, charge transfer spectra, geometry of complex, then cutting of the crystal and anion role. So these are the factors which affects the color of the complex. Then next we will see complex formation. In case of complex formation, a compound containing central metal atom which is surrounded by ligand is called complex or metal complex. Then complex formation, there are different types of octahedral complex will be formed. Then first one, in case of hexa aqua scandium 3+, metal ion is present in scandium 3+ form, number of 3d electron 0, hybridization due to sp3, geometry octahedral, due to 0 electrons it is a dimagnetic, and this is a low spin complex. So in case of titanium H2O6 3 plus, instead of low spin, this complex is a high spin because water is a weak field ligand. Similarly, titanium H2O6 3 plus and titanium F6 3 minus, titanium 3 plus, one unpaired electron, D2sp3. So this complex or geometry is a octahedral one and complex is a paramagnetic one. In case of vanadium H2O6 3 plus and vanadium NH36 3 plus, so vanadium 3 plus, 2 electrons in outermost shell, D2sp3 octahedral complex, it is a paramagnetic. Similarly, MnH2O6 2 plus and nickel NH36 2 plus. Mn 2 plus shows 5 electrons while nickel shows 8 electrons, but it shows the hybridization is a outer orbital sp3d2. So it is a octahedral geometry, but it is a high spin complex. So it concluded that when inner orbital hybridization, the complex is low spin, and outer orbital hybridization shows high spin complex. Regarding this, then this hybridization shows geometry of complex, that is geometry of complex depends upon coordination number and type of hybridization. Generally complexes have linear structure, square planar structure, tetrahedral and octahedral structures. So this is about the complex formation in 3D series elements. Then we will start unit number 2, chelation. So here we have completed unit number 4. In this unit number 2, chelation, very short unit, that is only introductory part regarding the what is metal chelate, metal complex, what is chelating agent, and there are some applications. So chelate word first discovered by scientist G.T. Morgan and H.D.K. Drew. Chelate, in which chile means crab's claw. So there is a diagram shows crab. So here metal ion and chelating agent, that is trap metal chelated into this cavity, that is chelating agent, and we are getting metallic chelate. So what is chelating agent? That is bidentate or polydentate ligand which is attached through 2 or more donor atoms to the same central metal ion, forming a heterocyclic ring, is called a chelating agent or chelating ligand. That is NH2, CH2, CH2, NH2, then dimethyl glycozyme, EDTA. These are the examples of chelating agent. Then what is metal chelate? Metal chelate means, the term metal chelate may be defined as the formation of heterocyclic ring by the association of polydentate ligands with metal. So is called and process is called chelation. By example we can solve it. That is, suppose when copper 2 plus combines with ethylene diamine bidentate ligand, we are getting this type of heterocyclic ring complex, that is Cu NH2 CH2 CH2 NH2 and NH2 CH2 CH2 NH2 2 plus. So this is a chelating complex, and this is called as a metal chelate. Another example, when nickel combines with DMG, we are getting this complex, which is a heterocyclic one and stable one. Then what are the structural requirements for chelate formation? So this is the most important point. Only we highlight some points regarding chelate formation. So chelating agent should have donor atoms which can donate a lone pair of electrons. That is, chelating agent must contains donor atom nitrogen, oxygen, sulfur, phosphorus. Then second condition is chelating agent must contain donor groups which facilitate the formation of stable ring, that is amido group, oxime group, imino group, carboxyl group, sulfonyl group, then enol or thionyl group. Then third condition, it forms heterocyclic ring between chelating agent and metal. More the number of heterocyclic ring, so more is the stability in the chelate complex. So the chelated complex are found to be more stable than non-chelated complex. This effect is known as chelate effect. When there is a heterocyclic ring is formed with the metal, then that complex is a more stable. And fourth condition is chelating agent possess at least two donor groups. That is, the donor groups will form strong bond with the central metal ion. That is, though NH2 is a bidentate ligand, it does not form stable chelate due to steric hindrance. So metal chelate should be free from strain. So here NH2 will also form, but NH2 NH2 will form 5-membered ring, and 5-membered ring is a more stable chelate complex. So 5-membered ring is numbered as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. Then we'll say distinction between metal chelate, metal complex. Metal chelate is a heterocyclic ring will be formed between ligand and central metal ion, and metal complex may be defined as, that is, metal is surrounded by monodentate ligands. It is metal complex. In case of metal chelate, approaching ligands are di, tri, tetra, hexadentate, but in metal complex approaching ligands are monodentate. In metal chelate, it is formed when suitable polydentate ligands are treated with suitable metal under specific condition, and metal complex is formed when suitable monodentate ligand are treated with suitable metal atom or ion under specific condition. Then formation of heterocyclic ring is essential in the formation of chelation. So heterocyclic ring is formed, but here is no compulsory for heterocyclic ring formation. There is no ring formed. Then example is a nickel DMG complex, but here NiCN4 2-. Due to the ring formation, it has high stability, it is a low stability. Then even in solution they dissociate negligibly, but they dissociate in more dissolved in any solvent. They may or may not have regular shape. They have generally regular shape, as like square, planar, octahedral, linear geometry, such like. Then we will highlight some chelating agents. Bidentate chelating agents: oxalic acid, COH, oxalic acid formula. So when we combine with any metal, calcium 2+, we are getting bis oxalato calcinate second. Then phthalic acid, this is the phthalic acid formula. So bis phthalato cuprate second ion. Then malonic acid, so CH2COH will form complex with Hg2+, so bis malonato mercurate second ion. Then glycine, NH2CH2COH, NH2CH2COH O- with combines with nickel, we are getting bis glycinato nickel second ion. Then 8-hydroxyquinoline, also called as oxine, this is the structure of 8-hydroxyquinoline, will form complex with magnesium, bis oxygenato magnesium second ion. Similarly, ethylene diamine, this is the structure of ethylene diamine, will form complex with copper. Then we are getting bis ethylene diamine copper second ion. And orthophenanthroline, this is the structure of orthophenanthroline, will form complex with iron. So this is the tris orthophenanthroline iron third ion. Then we will see some classification of the ligands. Symmetrical bidentate ligands are ethylene diamine, NH2CH2CH2. Both sides are having same donor atoms. Butylene diamine, NH2CH, CH3 and NH2. Then 2,2-bipyridine, so this is the structure of 2,2-bipyridine. Oxalate ion, CO-CO-. Then one of the example is a CuEn twice, Cu NH2CH2CH2 NH2, then NH2CH2CH2 NH2, or may be represented like this. Or another platinum butylene diamine complex will be represented like this. Then asymmetric bidentate ligands are glycine, that is NH2CH2CO-, 8-hydroxyquinoline. Then alpha nitroso beta naphthol, that is, this is the structure of alpha nitroso beta naphthol. Then the structure is a tris glycinato chromate third. Chromium is surrounded by glycine. Glycine means NH2CH2CO- at 3 rings. So in simple form will be represented like this. So this is a cis isomer. So this is about the classification of the chelating agents and metal chelate and metal complex. So thank you all of you for listening this.